explosion of technology and the uncertainty that technology is bringing is only one of the pressures that are acting on people at the top of the organisation at the moment. There's also this massive transfer from west to east that we're seeing as far as the economy is concerned. And this is changing business models, it's changing a great deal of things. And I think that what this move from west to east, what the cyclical changes that we've just been going through in the economy, what they are showing up more and more is that for us in the West to compete effectively, we have absolutely got to be innovating, and innovation is something that is going to come not just from the people at the top, it's going to come from anywhere in the organisation. And the people at the top of the organisation, they have always been responsible for promulgating the culture of the organisation, and the culture, it's an imperative for survival, I think, into the long term, that the culture of an organisation has to be one that is going to encourage people at all levels of the organisation to be able to spot opportunities and create opportunities, and to be able to turn these into an actual business proposition. To be able to do that, this requires a new leadership model. I think it requires a leadership model based on shared vision, values and understanding. And the people at the top, they need to make the vision and the values absolutely clear to everybody in the organisation, because it picks up on a point you just made. It gives people some very clear boundaries within which they can operate. They know what the direction the organisation is going in, but they also know what the expectations of the organisations are. They know the way the organisation wants to do things, the boundaries within which they can operate, take decisions, take responsibility.
I can say something like there are sort of two comments from a legal perspective. One is that in terms of corporate governance, certainly for larger companies, it could well be a role for non-executive directors, where the regulatory framework stresses the need for independence for them to step back and take an objective view about whether the business as a whole is really grappling with the kind of fluid new ways of working and operating that you're talking about. And the other comment is really in terms of international businesses, the tension is very much the other way. Moving from west to east is, in my firm, as an international firm with offices from New York all the way through to Moscow, Shanghai, we frequently see American clients who find it very difficult to comprehend English employment law. They become completely befuddled when they get to Belgium, and by the time they're in Kazakhstan, they find the rigidity of employment laws, particularly in the CIS and Eastern Europe, very difficult to accommodate. So on the one hand, leaders want to set out to free up and energize their employees to innovate. On the other hand, with pressures, for example, like very new and rigorous regulation in relation to bribery and corruption in the UK, under the Bribery Act. It's coming into force next month, and already from the US with the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, employees who are ranging a little too widely further east could well get their organisations into trouble, both with UK and US regulators. So again, very clear communication and perhaps also training to understand cultural as well as legal norms changing depending on where you are in the world is increasingly important.